Hey, shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. I thank you again for joining me. Today, I want to talk about a brief history of the Jehovah Witnesses. Now, the thing is, I came across an old book. I obtained an old book and flipped through the pages, and I got a paper about Jehovah Witnesses, and it's all typed. So this is an old paper that been in the book for a long time. I don't know how long, but it's been a long time, and I don't know if it's from the 50s or what, but I'm going to read this and give you a brief history of the Jehovah Witnesses, and I got a little book here with a small reference to it too. But anyways, I'm going to start out. It says the origin. Origin was a man named Charles Taze Russell was the founder of this movement. Born in 1852, spent most of his early life around Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At an early age, he rejected the doctrine of eternal torment, spent all his life denouncing organized religions. In 1870, he organized a Bible class in Pittsburgh. He was elected pastor of this group in 1876. In 1879, Russell founded the Watchtower. This publication grew from 6,000 copies in 1879 to 2 million per month today. Well, that's back to the 50s or 60s when this paper came out. Probably more. Russell's writings were first published under the title Millennial Dawn, but came out later under the title Studies in the Scriptures. Witnesses claim to have existed as an organization for more than 5,000 years. They often cite Isaiah chapter 43, verses 10 through 12 as proof. Now, that's, I don't buy that. I don't believe that, for 1 minute. Because one thing, if they did and they, was able to manipulate the scriptures back then, could we rely on the ones we've got today? Not just their translation. And by the way, look up my other video about the New World Bible Translation. It's their Bible. I got to speak in depth about that. Okay, the names they've been known by: Russellites, Millennial Dawnists, International Bible Students. Present name adopted at Columbus, Ohio in 1931. Makes claims that Jehovah's Witnesses is the new name of Isaiah 62, chapter 2. Acts 11:26 is the fulfillment of Isaiah 62, verse 2. In primary use of the term, they cannot be witnesses. Luke 24, verse 46 through 48, Acts chapter 1, verse 8. To be a witness in the true sense, the person or event must have been seen. So I'm just going by what their doctrines are. Later history: Russell died aboard a train to Texas in October 1916. J.F. Rutherford succeeded him. Rutherford was a prolific writer. He considered himself the mouthpiece of Jehovah. His words, he said, were the expression of divine mandate. Rutherford died in 1942, and Nathan H. Knorr became the new president. Membership in U.S. In 1957 was just a little bit under 190,000. The private life of Russell was dotted with numerous scandals. Mrs. Russell divorced her husband in 1906. Much unsavory testimony regarding the private life of Russell was brought out. The Brooklyn Daily Eagle led the fight to expose the hypocrisy of Pastor Russell. When this paper exposed his miracle wheat as a fraud, Russell sued the Eagle for $100,000. The government testified that his wheat was below standard. The Eagle won the suit. Other evidence could be cited to show that he lied about where he preached, that he lied on the witness stand, etc. Jehovah of the Watchtower by Martin and Clan, I guess it's a book. Doctrines. Here's the doctrines. Jehovah Witness teachings deny three. They deny three in the Godhead. And it says here, you can look up Matthew 28:18-20, Genesis 1:26, and over here it says Jesus before death was a mere man. He's only a man. In other words, he wasn't an Elohim or anything. And you can find that in Hebrews. Well, I mean, in the Bible it says here, according to them, Hebrews 1, verse 1-3, Hebrews 13, verse 8, Colossians 2, verse 9. The body of Yeshua was not raised. And they say you can find that in Luke 24, 36-43, hereditary depravity, the Bible, Ezekiel 18:20, 19-24, Matthew 18, 1-3, and chapter 19, verse 14. Now, the Messiah only restores that which was lost in Adam, perfect earth life. And they say it's Mark 16, verse 15-16, John 14, 1-6, 2 Peter 1, 11. 1920, Rutherford published a book entitled Millions Now Living Will Never Die. He claimed that in 1925, Abraham, Isaac, etc. would return to earth. At this time, he said, a man of 70 will gradually be restored to the condition of physical health and mental balance. He will be lifted up by the great mediator and restored to the days of his youth and live on the earth forever and never see death. And they claim Matthew chapter 7, verse 15, 1 John 4, verse 1, Jeremiah 23, verses 16-32, Deuteronomy 18, verses 20-22. Man does not possess an immortal soul. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 23, 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 16, and then you got chapter 5, verse 9, Matthew 22:32, Matthew 17, 1-9, Luke 23, verse 46, Luke chapter 16, verses 19-31. Next one is no hell. Matthew 26, verse 31-46. Note that the Greek for everlasting in relations to punishment in verse 46 is the name as everlasting in John 3:16 in reference to the life. And then you go, okay, Revelations 20, 12-15, 21, 8. You got to go to Mark 19:43-48, 2 Thessalonians 1, 7-9. All men will not be raised. And they cite John 5, verses 28-29, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10. Yeshua returned in 1874. The kingdom was born in 1914. The Lord began to cleanse the kingdom in 1918. And they say Acts 1, verse 11, Revelations 1, verse 7, Hebrews chapter 9, verse 28, Mark chapter 9, verse 1, Colossians chapter 1, verse 13, Luke 22, verse 29-30. Refused to serve a military service in any way and refused to salute the flag. And they cite Romans 13, verses 1-7, and Acts chapter 5, verse 29. The church is composed only of 144,000. These will go to heaven. Others who are saved will be on the earth. And they go to Acts chapter 2, verse 47, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 14. The church of the New Testament is simply the called out. Every individual who is called out of sin by obedience to the gospel is a member of God's called out, the church. So that's what this paper says. And I did, just did a little research on it and everything, backed it up and everything. And now I got this I got this book here I want to read from. It's called Religion, a Reference. First book by Gilda Berger. Read what this stuff says here. It's just a few paragraphs. But Jehovah Witnesses, a religious group organized in Pennsylvania during the 1870s by Charles Taze Russell. The witnesses believe in the second coming of Yeshua and take most of their ideas from writings in the New Testament book of Revelations. According to Jehovah's Witnesses, when Yeshua returns, there will be a great battle of Armageddon between him and the forces of evil. The wicked will be defeated, and for the following 1,000 years, Yeshua will reign on earth. At the end of this time, the devil will appear for a brief while, then he and his followers will be destroyed, and heaven will be established on earth. Jehovah's Witnesses have no churches but worship and kingdom halls. There are no special ministers. Each member is considered to be a minister of the gospel. As part of the religious views, Jehovah's Witnesses do not approve of the use of liquor or tobacco and do not recognize divorce. They also do not accept the notion of saluting the flag, claiming it is similar to worshiping an idol. The witnesses spread their message by way of the very active publishing program, magazines, books, and pamphlets. The magazine Watchtower is their main publication. So that's what that one there says. And they, in my opinion, they got a couple things right, as far as, but they, in more ways, they're really their doctrine is wrong and everything. And I'm not bashing on the people or anything. I'm sure most of them are great, if not all of them. Family oriented and follow the laws and have good productive jobs. But it's just like I said in my other video, the New World Translation Bible, their scriptures, how they twisted scriptures around and stuff like that. And you got to be wary about that. They do come by, when they do notoriously knock on doors and try to twist scriptures around and confuse you. They bombard you with all kinds of scriptures and everything. They just try to confuse you. And, that's, it's not okay. And of course, most people are biblically illiterate. They don't know what's going on. I mean, but, Jehovah's Witnesses got a bad reputation, and, they're like centers of jokes and everything about coming to the doors, knocking, and leaving literature in your mailbox, things like that. But, it's just a religion that, in my view, it's not the right religion and everything. And I'd say stay away from it. Be courteous and nice with them. If they come to your door or approach you somehow, just be nice to them and say you're not interested, but thank them anyways, and just go your separate ways. But I just want to give a little brief history of the Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff like that and what they claim. And I hope you could get something out of this. It's just a brief history, and I'm just commenting, and that's all I can do. Everybody's got different opinions, and I appreciate that. But, my advice, just stay away from them. And I thank you again for joining me. And if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up and hit that notification bell. And also subscribe, be a subscriber. I got more content coming out. And as usual, I thank you again for joining me. And please watch my other videos. Thank you again very much. Until we meet again. Peace out and shalom.